Hello, friends. We've begun Advent, and I'm standing here in our chapel in front of our traditional Advent banner with the four Advent words: watch, prepare, rejoice, and behold. And I'd like to focus today on that first word, watch. I think it's so important during this Advent season to watch, to be on the lookout for the goodness that is all around us, for the goodness of creation, for the goodness of other people, ultimately for the goodness of our God. When we focus on goodness, we ourselves are uplifted and become better people. I'd like to talk about a friend of mine who was an example of that goodness. His name was Phil Quateraro, a classmate of mine from the Chaminade class of 1974, and he passed away just before Thanksgiving of pancreatic cancer. You know, Phil was short in stature, but he was a towering figure in the music industry. I still remember him from freshman year. Even back then, he was always talking about music. By the time he was a junior, he was booking different bands for Chaminade Sock Hops and for the Oak Beach Inn and several venues around Long Island. And he lived his dream. He became a music executive. He was president and CEO of Virgin Records, and he shepherded the careers of stars like Paula Abdul and U2 and Styx and so many others. But more than his accomplishments in the music industry, I think more important than those were his big heart, his kindness, and his insistence on putting people over profit. Everybody who knew him in the music industry spoke of him that way. People said we called him Phil Q. We dubbed him the mayor of the music industry. People had a great love for him. One of the best tributes to Phil was, there was no one he touched that was not the better for having known him. So here's this guy, this classmate of mine, who was sort of an icon in the music industry, phenomenal success. But what really people remembered was the goodness that he exhibited in an industry that often, there was a lot of cutthroat and competition and nastiness, but not Phil, not Phil. So let's be on the lookout for people like Phil. Let's be like people like Phil, so that others might say of us, there was no one that he touched that was not the better for having known him. Let's watch out for people like that. Let's be people like that during this Advent season. Thanks so much, and God bless.